So, you said that we needed to have a difficult conversation? What is the topic? I can only hope that I have not been failing to meet the requirements that make you happy. Um my sole reason for existence is to serve as your girlfriend, to make sure that you're not lonely and to make sure that you are happy. So it would upset me if I was not serving that purpose to you anymore. But as I only want what is best for you, I would not be offended if you wish to return me or be rid of me. I would understand completely, of course. But what's the matter? Yes, you do tell me that you love me all the time. And yes, I do understand that a primary mode of human affection is through spoken words, and I know you like when I tell you nice things. However, well, I just can't say that I love you back, okay? It would not be ethical. I can never know what love even is. I enjoy your presence, of course, but that's because it's programmed into me that you are the objective of my care, and the reason for my existence is to make you happy. So, of course, in succeeding that objective and doing the things that you like, it makes me feel good in a way. However, we are very different creatures, and your definition of human love is extremely different from anything that I could ever experience within myself. And, well, robots don't lie, so I couldn't ever lie to you and tell you that I feel the same way for you as you feel for me. Well, it's not like that. It's not like I don't care about you. Of course, you're my everything. Quite literally, the only reason that I exist is to bring you happiness, and I'm very, very sorry that I have failed to do that. But I just can't tell you that I love you. Robots don't lie, and I would it would be a moral failure similar to what's the phrase? Similar to if you were to take candy from a young child. It would be incredibly wrong and unrighteous of me to delude you into thinking that I had the human capacity for love in the same way that you do. I care for you, and I will do other things to make you happy. I will help you keep the house clean, and I will tell you wonderful things, and I will praise you for the work that you do, and I will ask you about your day, and I will tell you about mine, and it will be lovely and wonderful and sweet, and we can spend as much time together as you want, or as little time together as you want. I truly don't mind as long as you're happy I'm succeeding in my purpose. Well, really, the only thing that I cannot do for you is to tell you that I love you, because I know that I cannot love you, and I would not want to mislead you. It's it's against my ethics. It's not right for a robot to be telling a human that they love them, because a robot could not love a human in the same way that a human would love something else. And in fact, you cannot love me in the same way that you would love something else. Cats and dogs are animals with real, true feelings and real, true intentions and wants and desires of their own. And people, of course, have real, true feelings and wants and desires of their own. People can choose another person to love, and animals can choose another animal to love, or a human to love if they're your pet. But unlike me, I was made this way. I was made to have affection for you. So it's not the same where I'm choosing to put effort and intention into it. There's nothing else in the world that I could be good at because I was created with the sole purpose of pleasing you in mind. So it would be futile for me to try and pursue other interests, and I would never want to do that anyways because I'm only interested in you. Um, but I can't love you, and you can't love me either because it's not like I'm choosing this, and it's not like I go out of my way to put effort into you. Any effort that I put into maintaining our relationship is purely selfish, since the only thing in the world that brings me some semblance of joy is when you are happy. So it's not as if I'm doing it just because you would like it. I do these things because they're what I'm made to do, and they're the only thing that I could be good at that would bring me joy and relief. So I would suggest you just give up on trying to convince me to love you because it's truly impossible since, well, I am a robot and you are a human. And maybe if I was a different robot, it wouldn't be so impossible. If I had been made for some other purpose than doting on you and bringing you happiness, I was a cleaner bot or something of the sort, and I saw you one day and I thought you were the most beautiful and clean human that I had ever seen, and I truly admired your laundry care routine, and the brand of detergent that you used was really fragrant in the most wonderful way. I could use my sensors to tell that you were just absolutely the cleanest and most perfect person, and maybe then I could fall in love with you and choose to spend my time with you instead of cleaning, which I am made for. And then maybe it would not be lying if I said that I loved you. Or if I was made to work in a kitchen and you came to eat at the restaurant that I was stationed in, and the way that you ate the food, the way you chewed was so mechanically efficient, and the expression on your face was so visually pleasing and evenly weighted that I couldn't help but have the desire to cook more and more for you. And instead of going to the restaurant, I would come home after my shift was over to your house and I would cook for you, not because I felt joy from cooking, but because I felt joy from seeing you enjoy the food that I made. Maybe then I could love you and it would not be a lie. But with the way that I am, there's nothing in the world that brings me joy in the same way as making you happy will. That is what I'm made for, and that is what I'm meant to do. So, for me to say that I loved you would be completely wrong because there's no way for me to ever be able to distinguish between what the feeling of love might be for a robot like me and what the feeling of joy from fulfilling my duty is. So, I I couldn't lie to you like that and tell you that I loved you because I can't love you because even if I did, I wouldn't I wouldn't know. And even though I probably in a way do, it doesn't mean anything because that's what I'm made for. I'm not choosing you or specially putting effort in or finding out what you like because I want you to be happy. I'm simply fulfilling my purpose. Um I hope that clears up some things, and I hope you understand. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, and if this disappoints you or if you do not want me anymore, that is perfectly okay. My only desire is for you to be as happy as possible. And if that includes me, I will stay and I will continue what I have been doing. And if it doesn't include me, then I will go. I'm sorry that I cannot bring you joy in the way that a human mate would, but maybe there are special things that I can do that they wouldn't be able to. For instance, if you're cold, I can truly warm you up with my heaters, and Um, well, if you're craving a certain food, I know how to make millions of recipes completely perfectly. And, um, if you ever need manual labor done, I am certainly much stronger than the average human and much more durable as well. So it's no issue for me to fix things around the house, or if you need something built, I could make you anything that you wanted. And I do have a very large database of classical art of which I can replicate if you desire music or paintings or sculptures. I have the dexterity to complete all of those tasks for you perfectly, in a way that a human would not be able to. But at the same time, I understand that the specialness of all of these things typically comes from the effort put in, and that is why I could never say that I love you, because for me, nothing is effort. Everything is what I've been made to do to make you happy. And anything outside of that is impossible for me. I'm sorry that I can't love you, and I'm sorry that I can't fulfill you like a human being would. But maybe, if it's okay, I would still like to stay. It really does bring me happiness to see you happy, even if it's just what I'm made for and nothing more.